Hey everyone, it's Chrissy with Tackling the Giants. This video is called the Egyptian Chariots, and I have on here the Hebrew word that means vehicle, and you can see also on there we're going to go over the other potential definition of that same word. And you also see the chariots and the Egyptian chariot, and on the right hand side, you can tell what that is. And then we're going to go over what's on the bottom of the screen and how that fits in. And I just wanted to say it's been a while since I've uploaded anything. This doesn't necessarily mean that I'm going to be continuing every day or anything like that. This is just something that I thought was important to cover. And as I have time and if things seem important or like I need to go over something, I will continue. So stay subscribed if you would like and be patient. And if I have information or feel like I need to go over something and I'm able to find the time, then I will indeed upload or do a community post. Okay, so I feel like this is very important and we're going to go over this connection here. Okay, so first of all, I want to give credit where credit is due. So Psalm 93:94, her channel on a community post, she gives credit to, and she gives a link, and I'm going to put links for her channel and then also to that link that she gives in the description box, as well as some other links that you might find helpful as to what we're going over. So she says, look at the Hebrew word, and she was wanting to know, can anyone explain why the word starts with V right here is listed as one of the meanings of the word chariot. So she says, think about the Israelites being chased by chariots and Psalm 20 that say, some trust in chariots and some in horses, but we trust in the name of Jehovah our God. So you can see the connection that she's making there, where it could be potentially translated, some trust in this, but we trust in God, right? So she was trying to figure that out. And then she gives this picture down here, which is, I'll also give a link to that little booklet and explain exactly how this person came up with that definition and who they are and where it comes from. So I was in contact with her. She sent me the booklet via email, and I went over it and researched it. And then I asked her if she wanted me to do a video on it, and she said yes, she would love that. So that's what I'm doing, and we're going to go over it and then kind of make connections here and see where this is going. Okay, so starting in Exodus chapter 14, verse 9, it says, but the Egyptians pursued after them all the horses and chariots of Pharaoh and his horsemen and his army, and overtook them encamping by the sea beside those names. Okay, so we see here chariots is H7393, and okay, so let me back up. I kind of forgot that I was going to break this down a little bit more. I was confusing myself here because I have 7291. So, okay, sorry about that, guys. So pursued, I just wanted to break this down a little bit. So pursued is H7291, and it means to follow after, to pursue, to persecute. And we know, that the beast persecutes the woman, right, that flees into the wilderness. It can also mean to harass, or it could mean basically they're persecuting, right? It's pursuing and harassing. So you know how that was during the time when people were saying that you needed to get stuff, and if you didn't, how that was. So we're going to continue going over the words that I feel like are important. Okay, so then we go on to horses, which is 5483. And you can see here, this is on this left-hand side, okay? This definition goes with this word, which is what we're on. And it means, and I found this interesting because it can actually mean a swallow, which is like a bird, as well as a crane. So that's kind of interesting. I didn't go into that, but basically, a horse or swallow, so on. Um, and the important part here is it says to compare 6571. And you can see also that 6571 is horsemen. So this here goes with this. And also in that little booklet, they also go over this with the definition, but I didn't do that here because it fits with the Strong's definition of stretched out to a vehicle. And I want you to remember that word vehicle because that's one of the main points here that we're going over. Not single, nor for mounting, a driver in a chariot, so on, okay? So we can also see that it states that it's from the root word 6567. This tells you to compare this, which is the same, so we're going back and forth between these two. But this root word is from 6567, and that's down here. And it's to make distinct, declare, distinguish, to separate, and also to pierce or sting. So we're going back to that word pierce, which I don't know if you guys remember at the very beginning of all of this a while back. I did several videos going over the piercing and how I believe that is in reference to the covenant and how important that is. Okay, so I'm not going to go into that here, but I went into that very strongly, very many times, and it really expounded upon that. So, but there's a distinguishing, a separation here, which God does between his people and the Egyptians here. Whenever he separates them, the 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 angel came in between the two, the Egyptians and the Israelites, and um, he separated, and then also he made a separation between the Egyptians and the Israelites whenever the sea was parted, obviously. So there's a separation here, and it also seems to have something to do with piercing and stinging. So I find that interesting. That's in reference to the horse and the horseman. So now we're going to go into chariots, which is 7393. And that's going to be right here on your left-hand side. And it says it's from 7392, which we're going to go over on the right-hand side. But again, it's a vehicle, by implication, a team, by extension, cavalry, a rider, so on. So the important part is a vehicle, which you're saying, okay, yeah, a chariot, it's a vehicle, that's obvious. But we're going to get into that and why that matters. So from 7392, it says to ride on an animal or in a vehicle, to place upon for riding. So basically, it's it's a vehicle in which something sits upon or is in to make how do I say this? To get from one place to another, correct? And then that seems kind of obvious. So if you look at the definition that they provided, which we're going to go over in a little bit and where that came from, it says basically the same thing: to ride, mount, get on, lift, put upon, graft, join, combine, assemble, coalesce, amalgamate, compose, compound. And I'm not going to say those other three, but you can read those there. And that's where, she was asking, does someone know where this came from? Okay. So we're going to go over that. So first of all, the top part is from the actual booklet that I copied from. And you can see that, so first of all, this is the word, these three letters. And this here is kind of, I guess, think of that as kind of like an asterisk for now, because I'm going to explain what that is. But that's not part of the word. It's just these three letters here, which is this, okay? This on the left-hand side is the book that that translation came from. So it's the ultimate and unique English thesaurus of Hebrew verb roots. And what I have here is some of the text from that I copied, and it says this work is an extremely comprehensive English language thesaurus of over 3,300 Hebrew verb roots, shorashim, from all historical periods dated from the biblical through the modern times. So if you take that word and you put the Hebrew word and you put it in today in a Hebrew to English translator online, it will translate to vehicle. Okay, so that's what I'm wanting to make these connections for you for. So also from the book, it says, although the primary purpose of this work is to provide the reader with the basic and derivative meanings or synonyms of a specific root and related roots, a secondary objective is to demonstrate how what may first appear as dissimilar roots are actually related and stem from a common primal root. Since the definitions and derivatives are gleaned from all grammatical forms, including, and then it lists a bunch, the roots used herein may not be immediately obvious or intuitive. It is advised, therefore, that the reader pursue the following sets of guidelines to get a better feel for how to locate the root. And they list a whole bunch of stuff in the beginning, which we're not going to go over, but I'm trying to show you the purpose of this book and what it's for, and so you can understand where we're getting this from. So it also says, it should also be noted that a significant number of roots and definition listed in the work are obscure and or obsolete. So in other words, they're saying they don't really know. Obscure is like they don't really know how or why, and obsolete would be outdated, or it might be, that's why they don't want understand it, because it's of the past and they're not making connections. So that's kind of like this, it's like, how is that related? Well, we're going to look at it and we're going to see that it is in fact related. So the point that I'm wanting to make here now is that it says the roots with the biblical origins have been marked as follows. So remember I showed you that this, I said, consider it kind of like an asterisk. If you read something and you have an asterisk or a star or something, you go to, or a number, you would go to the bottom of the page and it would tell you a key as to what it's referencing. So that little diamond that's filled in, it's saying that root definition from that word came from J.D. Einstein's Oster Mamre Tanakh, 1925, New York. So that's where this came from, okay? So this, that J.D. guy, J.D. Einstein, this is a entry on Wikipedia, and it shows there that the one that I have pointed to, that's, he did in fact write this, and it's a concordance of words, phrases, and idioms in the Tanakh. So the Tanakh is just basically the Old Testament. It's just the way that what the Jews call it, okay? Okay, so I've already showed that if you put that word into today's online, it's translated as vehicles. If I type in Strong's in the word, the Hebrew word, you see that I have two Strong's that come up, and that's the 7392 and the 7393. And those, we went over those. Let me just show you. This is the 7392 and the 7393 that we went over. So it links you back to chariots, okay? Well, it's translated as chariots, but today's, definition is vehicle, because we don't really have chariots usually anyway. Okay, so I also put some more information on there about J.D. Einstein, and it just says, the point there that translate of the name is Treasury of Articles on the Bible. So again, it's a concordance that compiles words, phrases, and idioms found in the Tanakh, okay? So that's the whole point of it, is to take a word and then go back to the root word, see where it came from and what it stems from. So that's, for example, what I did in some of the videos where I show how it comes from Pierce and how that matters and so on. So that's kind of what this is doing. So if you go to the website, which I have this marked out for a certain reason, but this is a article on a very popular company's name that starts with a P, that had a bunch of the things that they gave out. So this is an article on their actual website, and it says custom trucks, and it has this picture, and it's instructions, okay, that are delivered. And the title of the article is inside the delivery vehicles critical inside the delivery vehicles critical to the success of um, the application, right? For that thing to be administered, the delivery vehicle is of importance. And I'm going to explain to you like what that is actually saying. Okay, so the delivery vehicle, you can think of a vehicle making a delivery, right? Say that you make an order, and they have a box. Okay, they're delivering a box, and if that box gets to you, you're going to open up the contents, and the stuff's going to be inside, and you have it. However, if for some reason they put it in, I don't know, like, I don't know, something stupid, like I don't even know what to say, but something that's, or glass, let's just say glass. Say they put it in glass, okay, and they deliver the package to you in glass, and the glass broke, and so the contents in that package are no longer valuable, right? They're messed up because they delivered it wrong. It didn't get to you properly. It's not successful, right? It's not what you wanted. Okay, so that's basically, if you can think of it in that context, it's the same thing. So whenever they give you the thing that they're wanting to give everybody, if the method of delivery isn't right, then it's not going to do its job. Okay, so we're going to explain what that vehicle actually is, okay, and why that's important, and why it's considered a vehicle, um, just like he says here in his whenever he's translating vehicle, he actually makes the connection to these, and we're going to see how he makes that connection, okay, because that was the question, and it makes sense. Okay, so from the same article, they also have the picture up top, and it says, all precious cargo needs a reliable vehicle to get to its final destination. So such is the case for what they want delivered, which is a fragile molecule. Okay, so it has to have a special way to be able to get there. Or it says, in fact, we would not have these type of things that they made without a lesser known technology. And you can see what that is that allows it. This is the delivery vehicle that shuttle these molecules, okay, to where they want them to go. Okay, so without that, this is the vehicle to get them in. It would not be successful. So it says, the things that they're wanting to get in here, this is what they're wanting to get in there. It's a set of instructions, um, okay, that they tell these instructions, have them make these. I hope you guys are following me. So that's the point, okay? There are instructions that are to make a specific one, and it happens to be this, so that they can turn them into making them. They actually want your body to make them, okay? So that's how it works. Okay, so they call it a vehicle because it's literally what delivers that information into you that they want delivered, and that's what they have to use. They have to use this, okay, and in this case, this is the vehicle to be able to get in. Okay, so continuing on, it says they have to be protected. These instructions have to be protected, right? The things that they want to get in. So it says if it was put in alone, right, like without this, if it was just put in without that vehicle, then it would break down quickly. Okay, so it also can't enter without enter into there without a delivery vehicle. So to overcome these challenges, they turn to these, which is this, right? It's just the abbreviation for it, okay? Which are tiny protective bubbles of fat, is what they call it. That's what they call it, okay? So they're encapsulated, these instructions to deliver it, okay? So that's how they get it in, okay? So when that is put in, these vehicles shuttle these instructions in, okay? And then they're uploaded, and then they make the thing that they want them to make, okay? And then this guy, I meant to cover that up, but whatever. He says it's like a delivery truck protecting cargo as it drives down the highway. It shields the thing that they want in from everything that may destroy it. Because look, normally, like, your body fights against foreign bacteria and viruses, anything foreign, right? And that includes a foreign instruction that God didn't write into our code. And so they have to find a way to sneak it in, to change it, right? To change up the way that we were created. And it reminds me of what Yeshua says, about someone sneaking in any other way than the door. It's to rob and steal and so on. So, it's in other words, like, not doing any good. Okay. So this is from the same website, or the same company, but a different website, a different article. And it says, so that thing that they're wanting to get in plays a key role in the process. It's found in every living being, not the one that they're trying to put in, but just in general, right? That kind. So what we're made up of, that starts with the D, is our instruction manual for life. And then the R one is a single page photocopy from this book. And it's interesting that we're basically calling this the book of life. So, like, and they're like changing that, right? They're wanting to change that. So anyways, this photocopy from this book carries information for a specific one, okay? And so when they put these instructions, our cells make these to sustain, or we make them based on the way that God made us. They're trying to change that in there. Okay. So I wanted to go over also the word route, because a vehicle takes a route. So this is just a general definition from online. It's a way or a course, right, from getting from one place to another. A circuit traveled in delivering, selling, or collecting goods. So basically, it's a way. It's a way of delivering. That's the point I'm trying to make. So we have here how, that thing that is trying to be given is referred to as a vehicle. Well, it's also referred to as, there's certain routes that vehicle can take. So you can see, the website up there, and it says there's 4 primary routes. Okay, and one is by mouth, nose, like in the tissue, and then in the muscle. Okay, so those are referred to as routes that that things can be delivered in. So they go together, a vehicle and a route and so on. And just so you that you're aware, this isn't something that's new, or like a one-time thing. This is just the way that things are actually worded, and this is where he came up with this and made this connection a long time ago. This article is from 2013, and you can see it's a GOV website, and they say delivery vehicles for them, right? And so this is an example. This is just one delivery vehicle, one way that they're able to get things in. And I'm not going to read the whole thing, but basically it's pretty much the same. It's these layers that are encapsulated that act as the delivery vehicle. Okay. And so this whole article is about um, different delivery vehicle um, ways, like different things. So, like I said, this is one way, but they give, they go through. If you want to go through and read it all, there's different ways, and that's what this is about. Okay, so different ways and different types of being able to get that in, and they call it like the vehicle. That's the vehicle of how to get it in. And again, there's different routes of administering them. So the route is the way that it goes in, and the vehicle is the way that it delivers whatever that information is into you. So just to um, go over, I saw and behold a white horse, and he that sat on him had a bow, and a crown was given to him, and he went forth conquering and to conquer. You can see bow G5115, and you can see the word here, and it says it comes from 5088, and it's to produce from seed as a mother a plant. So bring forth, to be delivered in travail. So the wheat at the end of time, right, when Yeshua is about to come back, it says that he separates from the wheat from the tares, and the wheat are the ones that bring forth the fruit. So they look the same the whole time that they're growing up, and at the very end, you can tell the difference because the wheat bring forth the grain, they bring forth the fruit, and the tares bring forth nothing. In other words, they're not fruitful. They don't bring forth anything. And so this is again about, I believe it's about separation. Like I said, earlier, how God separates and He puts a division between His people, and He provides a way for His people to escape in the midst of the persecution and everything. But yet He puts a division between the two. And anyways, also you can see that this word here, if you go to the original, what it came from, you can see that it's directly from Latin, that's poisoned, and it comes from this. Okay, so I want to point to that, which is also, poison, and it's arrows, right? Because that's how they would, um, when they shot something with the arrow, it would be dipped in this poison in order to um, kill or wound or whatever their enemy or an animal or whatever, right? And we can see here again, I just wanted to go over to make, this connection that that by this we're all deceived. And you can see it's 5331, and it's this, okay, which is the same thing. So I hope that this, I'm going back to this real quick. This is the actual definition of this, and it's the use of administering, right? We talked about the different routes and stuff, poisoning and so on. And I hope that you can see here, and I hope that this helps to make that connection for you guys and see that way back in what it was, 1925, I believe. I'm trying to go back. Yeah, he made this connection long ago, which is absolutely amazing. Go back to it. So this is the word here, and he has that long, long ago, which is amazing. So anyways, I hope that that clears up something, and I hope that you learned, and I appreciate you guys' patience. I'm a very busy person, but I'll see you next time. Thank you.